Hello, everybody. It is May 14th, 2021, and it's time for another episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we're going to tell you about a brand new social media service called rcpilot.com. We'll tell you all about it.
We're also going to preview June's Model Aviation magazine.
And we have so much more, so be sure you stick around. AMA Air is coming right at you. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
And I am Erin Dobbs.
Erin, thank you so much for joining us today as our co-host.
You are very welcome. Thank you for having me. And it's Friday.
And it is Friday. Hallelujah, it's Friday. I think we can all be very excited about the fact that the weekend is finally here.
Finally.
But hey, let's talk about some model aviation for a little bit, because what better way to start the weekend than to talk about this awesome hobby of ours. And we've got a ton of stuff to talk about. And you know, Erin, we had you on last episode to talk about a brand new member benefit with UAS Sidekick, which we got a lot of great feedback from. People were very excited about it. But we've got something even newer that we get to talk about this time, and it's called rcpilot.com. It's a brand new social media service that's designed by hobbyists and for hobbyists. And we're going to have a special guest to join us here in just a second to talk about it. But first, we've got a video that we're going to show you that kind of shows you a little bit about what RC Pilot is all about. So let's take it away.
Okay, I have chills. I feel like I just watched a movie trailer to some like cool new spy movie that's coming out, but this was almost even better.
You're not kidding. That was amazing. I hope you guys are excited as we are to talk about this. Again, this is rcpilot.com. It's a brand new social media service for hobbyists. And to help us talk a little bit about what rcpilot.com is and some of the features for it, we've got a very special guest today. His name is Michael Kranitz. He is a board member at rcpilot.com, and we're really excited to talk to him today about RC Pilot. So Michael, thank you so much for joining us today on the show.
Thanks for having me. Very excited.
So let's jump right off and let me ask you kind of, I guess, the obvious question. What is rcpilot.com and what kind of needs does it fill for the hobbyist?
Great question. RC Pilot is the answer to what a lot of us have seen are deficiencies in the online experience for hobbyists. So back in the day when I was writing software for RC Universe, forum software was the best we had. And I remember working very hard to change that experience. So product guides and a marketplace and things that forum software couldn't do. Then things happened, and fast forward 15 years or so, and you have Facebook. And Facebook is good at certain things. It's good at, you know, giving you a constant roll of content. And it's sort of like, look, there goes a squirrel. Look, there goes a squirrel. You know, and it's really hard to find content when you need it. And it's really geared for a general market. It's geared for social more than anything else. And with all the different groups, if you happen to have one or two interest areas in RC, you might have to join like 14, 15 different groups in order to get all the content that you want. So a group of hobbyists got together and said, there's got to be a better way. And not only do we want the good aspects of forums and the good aspects of Facebook, but we don't want all the noise, the non-RC stuff. So that's how RC Pilot was born, to take advantage of modern technology, deliver the experience, and make it very specific to our hobby so that people could easily share and retrieve information. And so that that information would live on, so that, you know, 2 years from now, if you're looking for instructions on how to tweak the landing gear on the Draco or whatever, you can cut right to all the posts that address that. So
very, very cool. So tell us about some of the moderation that you have in place for the platform.
So we have a community-based moderation team, and every moderator on the team has access to the very same tools, and they're able to go in and remove offending posts, and they're able to tweak posts, not content-wise, but catalog-wise. So if somebody posts a scale helicopter in, you know, control lines, that would be interesting, actually. They could moderate that and change it. We also have a reporting system that when you report a post that you think is offensive or false or misleading or outside the bounds, everybody on the moderator team gets a notice. First person in hits it. So it'll be fast and not faceless, nameless people, sorry, Facebook, and, you know, in some building that may get to it in 5 weeks. It gets moderated right now. And the idea is to keep the community friendly, fun, and informative.
Nice. So just a positive interaction among modelers all the time. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And of course, there's going to be some cool ways that the AMA is going to be involved in providing content and those sort of things. Is there anything you can talk to about that sort of side of it, where the AMA is involved?
Absolutely. We have a couple of things. When you first register, you can go to your profile and indicate that you're a member of the AMA. And when you do so, every post that you make, there'll be your rank on the site, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, and then an AMA badge to let the world know that you're part of the AMA. This is a worldwide site, it's international, and there are different international governing bodies, but, you know, AMA is a principal among them. And we have a section in our filters called AMA Chatter. And that's where people can go to talk about the AMA developments with, you know, the FAA, with the rules and regulations, the young folks programs, and anything AMA related. And that is a home where you can go directly to the AMA and engage with people from the AMA. Then there's the content piece of it, where we have an articles section, which is sort of like a magazine. The articles are formatted differently. There are only just a handful of people who have access to write those articles, but content can come from AMA Model Aviation authors into our article section, and then articles that make the grade from our section could find their way into Model Aviation. And there are going to be additional programs beyond that, but this whole notion is built around the idea that, and the AMA proved this, that the power of community gives us business clout, it gives us political clout, again, with the FAA by prime example. And having a community that is run by the actual community itself and not Facebook or some corporation that collects internet sites, but having that is a real community power, and everybody in the hobby benefits from that. And so that's why the AMA's involvement was so critical and so important for RC Pilot to succeed.
Agreed.
Well,
much agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious. So a lot of folks who are watching the show right now, they probably haven't had a chance to visit rcpilot.com yet. I'm curious if you might want to show us around the site a little bit and kind of give us a tour of what RC Pilot looks like.
I think I am qualified maybe to do that. And so let's have a look. The first thing you notice about the site is that it does look similar to Facebook, in the center, and that is certainly by design. And the input that the development team got from the community was that that's the part of Facebook that's desirable. It's that news feed element. The part and that's where the two kind of stop being similar, because you'll notice here on the right, there's a column called specialties. And as I pick airplane scale, no, he put this under airplane scale. This is a great opportunity for me to moderate this. This is a helicopter scale. So our moderators would go in and they would say, yeah, but no, this should not be posted under airplane scale. This is helicopter scale and maybe general RC because it's a full scale pilot, submit. And then now the next time the page loads on this, it will show differently. And you could see the different category. But as I go through, let's say I went airplanes warbird, and now all the posts will be about warbird related aircraft. If I uncheck that, let's say, and I go to heli scale, then our helicopter stuff will show up. If I go to jets turbine, we'll get turbine related material. So the subject matter stays with you from visit to visit. So if I'm really all about just scale airplanes, maybe float airplanes and, turbine jets, then when I come back, those are going to be pre-selected. But I'm going to unselect those now for a second and then go to the left side to show you that not only can you have posts in your specialty, but you can also have them related to certain things. So if I just want the posts that are related to flight in my specialties, I can further narrow the content. Now, I get that a lot of people will just come and want to browse, and that's great. Tick off your specialties, and you can rip through content like you would without having to jump from group to group to group. It's all there as long as it's related to that subject matter. If you're trying to drill into something specific, then you would use one of the topics here on the left, and they're fairly detailed. So paint and cover on scale airplanes, or if you want to learn about gas engines in a certain specialty, you can drill in that far. And here, I will just show you here. Here's the AMA chatter. Now let's collapse some of these. So AMA chatter is right here. And when here's a post, here's the AMA badge, and this is from the Academy of Model Aeronautics talking about the Club of the Month. And this is what the filtering and specialty system really does to advance the discoverability of content. One of the most frustrating things for me as a modeler is that somebody posts some really cool wisdom experience that is there now, and then a year from now, I can't find it. I cannot find it. And maybe that person's out of the hobby, or you can't get in touch with them, and then that information's lost. And so the idea is to make this information enduring so that 5 years from now, when maybe one of our modelers is gone from the planet, you can still benefit from the wisdom that he or she imparted at the time when they posted. All right. Let's go to build stories. So build stories were one of the things that I was most interested in, because like many of us who have visited forum software, we're used to going through 30, 40, 50 pages of posts that are variously interspersed with what the builder posted, and then when somebody else commented, more comments, the builder. Impossible to narrow down to what you're looking for. So I'm going to scroll through here. We have a lot of people who have started posts, but let's find, here's one that was in our video from Just Plain Crazy, and he is. But what's cool about this is it's one story about the Texan, but as you mouse over the chapters, unboxing, building the wing, horizontal and vertical stab, I can follow along with the build. I get the author's story always at the top, and then the comments are at the bottom. You know, so nice hinges, bro. So you can, it's just so much more sensible to have a story with chapters than to have, you know, every single page. And I can drill in and search for and find by product name, you know, any of the build stories that I want. So when I start a new story here, let me find my stories. I got no filters, discard. Okay. My stories are, I'd have to dig around and get them. There are things that the guys are still working on that I know about. So let's move to the articles area. So the articles area is limited to those who have article writing permissions on the site. And what's really nice about these articles is they do range. These topics are a little bit different because you can have product reviews and you can have pilot profiles and industry profiles. So here's one from Keith Sparks. It's a video on Keith, who's just a phenomenal talent. There was a full interview, and this is something back when RC Pilot was a digital magazine. We did, you know, we did a video on Keith. But let's go to, well, let's go down here to how to write a good article. Now, we'll do Bad Boys Turbines, Bad Boys RC. And this is an industry profile, and this is where the site is highlighting a business, giving the business some free, you know, exposure and letting people know that this business is out there. And the businesses can submit their own profile and get them published on the site. But imagine if this were a story or a review, which it will be. Right now, we, you know, as we just start out, we're vetting authors. There are a couple of guys, Scott Copeland, John Barnes. Those guys will be helping vet, you know, authors for us that can write well and in a fashion that's easy to read and it is enjoyable. So that's the article section. This section is super cool. It's the brand support area. And one of the things that's different about this is that if I am a brand manager, or excuse me, if I am a small RC business or even a large one, and I'm fielding questions on Facebook, forums, and everywhere else, my staff has to run around to gather all of the questions from modelers. But what if all the tickets were in one place? And if I, a modeler, and you know, I'm trying to figure out how the RC Pilot support area works, and I start to type in, I'm going to find the answer that the manufacturer gave before I have to submit them a help ticket. So it forestalls support tickets to RC businesses who are already overburdened with, you know, all the things they have to do as a small business. And it gives the consumer, the customer, answers without having to wait. Now, there are clearly going to be cases where, you know, there is no answer. So if I say, why does Aaron Dobbs fly a biplane? That clearly has no, I don't think anybody can answer that, even Aaron. So file a support ticket under a category, and I would describe it. I could chuck images in here. And then as the manufacturer, I'm going to be able to mark this resolved and public. And that means I can display the answer to the public. Now, if somebody is railing on me and saying, you guys are a ripoff and you suck, I'm probably not going to make that one public for everybody to read. So from the business's perspective, it's a way to keep a lid on things, but it's a wonderful section. The marketplace, I mean, this is self-explanatory. I have used Facebook Marketplace. Can you post stuff? Sure you can. Can you find stuff? Ugh, so hard. I don't want to be lumped. I don't want my aircraft to be lumped in with toys. I don't want, or cars or something that doesn't relate. So here, this is a specific set of categories that is what we know are used by hobbyists. This is my favorite, the I love my wife t-shirt. I love it when my wife lets me go flying. Okay, there's a little promo there. We have an events area coming, and this is to answer the tail end of your other question, then we'll be kind of finished with our tour. This week, the team is building the event area, and there's a couple of special things about the event area. One, all of the events that are posted by CDs in the AMA sanctioning system will automatically get distributed to RC Pilot. So that gives the promotion of their events when they get them sanctioned. Our system will allow sanctioned and non-sanctioned events to be posted organically from the site, but obviously if you have a sanctioned event, you start with the AMA and then you're done, they'll automatically publish here for you. The other thing we're going to do is connect discussion posts with events. So when you go to post a discussion, it'll say, hey, is this related to an event? And you could say, yeah, 2021 Top Gun. It already happened. Then when somebody's in the calendar, they could pull up 2021 Top Gun and it'll say view all posts. And every post with every picture and video related to Top Gun, that event, will show up on your screen. And that interplay allows event promoters, especially, to be able to consolidate all the content around their event and show more people what a great event it was, so that maybe next year they'll come to that event. So that's the point of that. There are a couple of other little tweaky things. I would want to point out this little help thing, because we have flight controls, and the flight controls, if you click on it, it'll show you what all the controls do. We have a pre-flight checklist, and the pre-flight checklist kind of tells you, hey, this is how we work. One, we have a rank system. We use Air Force ranks for fun. So airman, airman first class, chief master sergeant, lieutenant, second lieutenant, colonel, etc. And as you go up the ranks, you're eligible to claim one of the $10,000 in prizes that Horizon put up. And these are good prizes. They are airplanes. There's a full list over on our headquarters site, and you can click from your pre-flight checklist. You can go right over and look at that, those prizes. The other thing is verified membership. You will have the ability to put in your mobile phone, click a button, you get a code, you verify yourself, and that way other members know ability our membership. And that's the site. We'll have the events module. They tell me it should be ready sometime late next week, maybe bleed into the following week a little bit. And then we'll open it up. It's already open, so everybody can go now. And that will be the base feature set for some time. We will add in some advertising components for manufacturers. That is RC Pilot.
Well, honestly, Michael, that's just an incredible service that you've put out there for folks to use. And I would encourage you guys to go. You can go register for an account now at rcpilot.com. I know I've got my account already set up. Aaron, you have your account already set up. We've got an AMA account out there already. And there's tons of people who have already been using the service for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. And Matt, let me point something out and I see it in the comments. We're not tracking your data. So you click a like button, you just click the like button. Facebook is in the data selling business. We don't sell your data, and we never will. That's been a personal philosophy of mine, and I've told the team I don't think it's a good idea, and it shouldn't be done. And it isn't being done. I can tell you that. So it doesn't operate like Facebook in that way. It is just within our community, and there's really no nefarious purposes afoot here. There's no conspiracies or attempts to influence your decisions one way or the other. So understand that.
A very refreshing platform, Michael. Very, very, this is awesome. It really is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, very
and there's
cool.
a lot
like
of people to thank that actually do the work.
Absolutely. There's an incredibly hardworking team behind rcpilot.com. And Michael, we really appreciate you coming and telling us a little bit about the service. And again, guys, I would encourage you to go check it out at rcpilot.com, register for your account and get in there and check out some of the cool stuff in there. We're going to be talking a little bit later in the show about some cool stuff we've found as we were scrolling through rcpilot.com, so stick around for that. But Michael, thank you again so much for stopping by to tell us a little bit about the website, and I'm looking forward to getting in there and spending some time there.
Absolutely. Thank you all. I appreciate the time.
Thanks, Michael.
Appreciate it. Well, guys, I know if you've been watching the show over the last couple of months, you are certainly going to be no stranger to this next topic. We've been talking about it, and I will talk about it till I go blue in the face or red in the face, because it's the red planet. We're talking about Mars again. So we've got some updates on Ingenuity. As you guys know, the helicopter that landed on Mars, it was in part designed by some AMA members. And to help us talk a little bit about it, I'm going to bring in the other space nerd that we've got here. And his name is Lee Ray. He's a friend of the show. You guys know him. You guys love him from the RC Roundtable. Lee, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Hi, space nerd.
Hey, fellow space nerds.
I say that with so much love because I am also a space nerd.
It's a term of endearment.
I wear that badge proudly.
Yes, as we should. So
when Matt had me on the show, we talked about it, and we probably could have gone on for a long, long time about it. And I'll be quick to say I'm not a specialist in any of the stuff that they are developing. I think I just like admiring it from afar, and literally afar, like from another planet afar. Yeah. This whole project, Ingenuity, is just incredible. It's just, let's pull up a picture real quick, guys, because I have this here. This is Matt Keenan. He is an AMA member. He works with a great team over at AeroVironment, and they were the guys who and gals who put together this incredible helicopter, this UA helicopter that's autonomous on another planet, that's flying up and down, left and right, and has now gone into an extended mission. They were not sure. I don't know what the odds were. That'd be great to have that number. But the odds were, first off, will it survive the landing? And second, when we open the doors and drop it to the ground, will it stay together? All that stuff. And it has done a miraculous job. So kudos to all the team over there. I'm sure they are excited. But now it's moved into phase 2, or as I call it, the bonus round, where they get to use this as a scouting mission. Well, they'll use Ingenuity to go ahead of Perseverance and look at other spots to look at. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing them use it to scout the debris, the unfortunate trash we've left behind, such as the parachutes and the sky crane. I'd like to see it, get near there and send some photos back. So what an exciting time there on Mars.
Yeah, it really is one of the coolest, most exciting things that I've experienced over probably the last 20 years when it comes to space, because, the idea that we were able to remotely pilot an aircraft on another planet. Not only that, but for it to outlast its initial mission, and now it's you're calling it phase 2. I kind of call it overtime, because it wasn't designed to go this long.
And built by an AMA member, right?
And exactly. So this is just nonstop cool factor in my book. One of the things I want to let you guys know, you mentioned Matt Keenan. He was on 60 Minutes this past weekend. I believe they have that on the CBS News website. I believe you can actually watch the clip from that episode, so you can see some more information there. But something else you guys can do is go over to our AMA blogs. We have a blog post up with where we've interviewed Matt and gotten some information from him about the experience. I would encourage you guys to go check that out at the AMA blogs. And I'm excited to see what's next for Ingenuity, because it's obvious it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, Matt. I forgot what you called it, but so it can't take selfies of itself, although the rover can take selfies. But what kind of pictures will Ingenuity take of Perseverance? So what did you call it?
So I don't think there'll be selfies. I think there'll be rovies.
Rovies. Okay. So Ingenuity will hopefully get shots of Perseverance rovies, #rovies.
Get some rovies. Yeah, can we get that trending? Can we get that trending on Twitter, please? #rovies.
#rovies.
And
okay.
I think that'll be awesome. I don't see the issue.
Matt, I think that's a genius idea. I do.
Thank you. Somebody finally recognizes my genius.
It does. It just needs to take right off.
Well, it is amazing. And you know what? It's we see this now. Just think what these guys are going to come up with next. I mean, I'd like to I'd like to see a fixed wing aircraft flying around. I think that'd be kind of cool. But anyway, kudos to them.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar at all with the Prandtl wing, but I think there was some. I don't know if it's still in the plan, but like the idea was that type of shape and that type of construction would be something that would fly on Mars at some point in time. So maybe we'll still see that happen. We've got to get Al Bowers on the phone on the show at some point to talk about that. I think I may have to get on that after the show's over. But anyway, Lee, thank you so much for taking some time to give us an update about Ingenuity. I'm sure we're going to have more updates to come as the weeks go on, because we don't know how long Ingenuity is going to stay flying up there.
No idea.
Well,
or
no idea.
Again, they could be finding those aliens. I don't know.
Spirit and Opportunity, they weren't meant to last very long, and those things lasted much longer.
They lasted years past,
months,
past their expiration date. So if that's any indication, Ingenuity is going to have a lot more flights in its logbook by the time it's all said and done.
Let's hope it lasts longer than most modelers' aircraft.
At least longer than mine. Thank you, Lee, for stopping by. We appreciate it. Lee's actually helping us out behind the scenes today, filling in for our producer, Dylan. So we thank him for taking a little break from his producer duties to come in and talk to us about Mars. Hey, guys, we got a whole lot more left in the show to talk about, but we're going to take a quick break. So coming up after the break, we're going to tell you about some of our stories of the week, but they may not be coming from where you think they're coming from. So stick around for that and a whole lot more right after this. Well, I hope you guys are going to plan to join us at the National Fun Fly. I'll be there. If you guys want to come say hello to me, you're welcome to come join the fun. We're going to have a membership meeting there. There's going to be a swap meet. There's tons of fun stuff going on at the National Fun Fly coming up the end of July. We also have National Model Aviation Day coming up. We're going to tell you a little bit more about that here in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to tell you about some of the fun stories we found this week we wanted to share with you. But normally they come from iFlyAMA. But to celebrate the launch of rcpilot.com, we thought, hey, let's find some cool stuff over there first and see what we can share with you guys here on the show today. Aaron, I'm going to kind of let you have the floor here and take the have the honors, as it were, to share the first RC pilot story of the week.
Thank you. Okay, so I found a post by Greg Fortman, and as soon as I saw the picture, I was like, wow, that's a really good photo. And then him standing there, and he's so proud of his Skywing Edge and the colors of it. I just thought, yep, that guy's a proud modeler. I'm going to pick that one right there.
That's awesome. That is a gorgeous airplane. I would be proud as well if I were the one holding it. Very nicely done, sir. Congratulations on that. And thank you for sharing that photo on RC Pilot. So I got to be honest, when I was scrolling through RC Pilot the other night, I came across this image that literally made me stop dead in my tracks, because I have the most adorable chocolate lab in the entire world, and someone else happened to have a picture of their chocolate lab with their airplane, and it happened to be a friend of the show, Steve Petrato. He's actually the marketing director over at Horizon Hobby, and he posted this over on RC Pilot of his dog Woodford next to his Hangar 9 60cc pits. He's said he's excited to get it airworthy and wanted to know who wants to see a build series. Well, raising my hand, I would like to see a build series of that, please and thank you. But let's be honest, the star of this post is Woodford, because he looks like the goodest boy in the whole wide world sitting next to that 60cc pits.
So let me tell you something. Yesterday, I had a meeting with Steve, and he was talking about his dog, and then he sent me a picture later on with Woodford laying on the couch, and then Steve had to tuck him in with a blanket. So Steve loves his dog, which is awesome, and Woodford is awesome. So very cool post. I was gonna actually pick that post, so you came in on the top of me over that. So
I couldn't help it. You know, whenever I see a chocolate lab, they're my little choco doggos.
Choco
I
dog.
can't help. I can't help but stop and just admire, because they're the coolest. And my little Bella, she just turned 6, and I've got to get with Steve, and maybe we can get the dogs together to run around the field. I can't get mine to sit next to an airplane though. Try to take her to the airfield, and she's just like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna chill here in the air conditioning." I'm like, come on.
Well, you've spoiled her.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's 100% it. Well, guys, if you want to check out some of the other cool stories that and posts that there are over on rcpilot.com, that's where you need to go. rcpilot.com. We talked about it early in the show. I encourage you guys to go set up an account and check it out. It's free. There's nothing to charge you or anything like that, but just a lot of fun to be had and a lot of cool stuff there. So go check it out. Share your own stories, etc. It's going to be a fun time. We're all there, and we're looking to have a great time. So again, that's at rcpilot.com. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about model aviation. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, Model Aviation Live, and maybe the digital edition. Is that what we want to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with the digital edition. Of course, if you guys are digital edition subscribers, the Model Aviation June issue in the digital edition is already out. You can download it right now as we speak. If you are a print subscriber and you're going to wait for it in your mailbox, it's going to be there in the next week to week and a half or so. But again, if you're a digital subscriber, you can already check it out. The June issue is out there, and we're going to do something real fun for you today. We're going to surprise everybody with the June cover. Everybody want to see the June cover? Let's take a look, shall we? The June cover of Model Aviation features Robert Donnelly and his daughter Skylar posing with their 222Es at the 2021 Southwest Regionals in Eloy, Arizona. So congratulations, Robert and Skylar, for being featured on the cover of Model Aviation magazine. What an amazing, just a cool accomplishment that is. There's not a lot of people that can say that. So congratulations to them.
Doesn't it just showcase the hobby? You know, like father, daughter, teaching modeling. It's like, it's all right there. That picture says it all about what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. I mean, and just the fact that we've got a youngster on the cover is always great, because we want to see young people involved in the hobby, and especially young girls. We can't overstate it that getting young girls involved in the hobby is so important. So it's really awesome to see again Robert and his daughter Skylar featured on the cover of Model Aviation. So cool for those guys. So I'm excited for them.
Absolutely.
And guys, if you are interested in checking out Model Aviation Live with Jay Smith, that is coming up next Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's next Friday, May the 21st at 3 p.m. Eastern over at modelaviation.com/live. Jay's going to have special guests on the show from the magazine staff. We're going to have Lynn Balderrama. She's our art director, and Rachel Hahn, one of our staff writers, are both going to be guests on the show. So if you're excited about that, be sure you tune in. Again, modelaviation.com/live next Friday, May the 21st at 3 p.m. Eastern. Get in. You can ask questions in the live chat. It's going to be a great time. So be sure you're over there and join us next week. Hey, something else that we teased a little bit ago, but I want to make sure we talk about real quick is National Model Aviation Day. That's coming up real soon, guys. That's just a few short months away. It's August the 14th, coming up, National Model Aviation Day. Be sure you save that date. And if you guys are looking for ideas for your club on what you guys might be able to do, it's real easy to look at some of the other clubs over the last few years and some of the fun activities that they've had going on. So many amazing events that go on all over the country. You can actually go to modelaviationday.com to look for events in your area. Maybe there's something already going on you didn't know about. Well, there's a good way to find out. It's by going to that website. So much money, Aaron, has been raised over the years by all the clubs around the country for National Model Aviation Day for so many different charities.
So right here in the state of Indiana, the club of the month was Black Sheep RC Modelers, and they've raised almost $47,000 for local charities in the Danville area. So it doesn't get much better than that. So congratulations to them, and thanks for being a part of the Hoosier State and helping out where they can.
Absolutely. They've raised money for the Wounded Warrior Project, as well as the Hoosier Veterans Assistance Foundation, which is headquartered here in Indianapolis, nearby that club. So, again, almost $47,000. That's an amazing accomplishment for the Black Sheep RC Modelers, and just one of the many reasons why they were named Club of the Month this week. We're going to be featuring them on the AMA podcast in the next couple of weeks, so be sure you're subscribed to that to be able to hear their story. But again, National Model Aviation Day, be sure you put that on your calendar. August the 14th. It's coming up very soon. This summer's flying by already, even though it's not actually summer yet. But
no,
you know what I mean.
And it just snowed like 2 weeks ago.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the snow.
Okay, I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. So we are going to talk about the Nats, though, right?
Yes, we are. So Nats, guys, registration is open right now. modelaircraft.org/Nats. You can see the calendar, or the schedule of events, the calendar there. You can register if you're a first-time registrant for the Nats. If you've never competed before, we have a special code you can use. If you use the code FLYINNT20 right there at the bottom of your screen, you use that code and your first-time registration fees are waived, which is an amazing savings. So I would encourage you guys to, if you're on the fence, if you've thought about, hey, I kind of want to compete, but I don't know, maybe not. This is the year to do it, because we can waive those registration fees. All you got to do is go to modelaircraft.org/Nats. There's some other cool stuff that's going on this year. For the first time, the National Free Flight Society is doing some youth activities during the last week of July during the outdoor Nats. They're going to have some youth free flighters on hand to kind of do some demonstrations and show. If you're going to have the kids out there with you, let them take a look and see if free flight is something that they might be interested in. So kudos to the National Free Flight Society for taking a look at that. You can go to freeflight.org for information on all of that we have coming up for the free flight Nats. But it's going to be a great time here at the National Flying Site here at the International Air Modeling Center. So,
well, and if you don't want to compete, you can still come and see us. We have camping, all those things. So you can watch. You don't have to compete. You can just come and hang out at the IAC.
Absolutely. You can come camp. You can talk to the competitors and learn a little bit. We've got the National Model Aviation Museum here on site as well that you can visit. There's a lot of stuff to do. So if you've ever been interested in checking out the Nats, I encourage you guys to come out here to Muncie, Indiana to check it out this year. Aaron, I think we've made it to the end of the show.
Already? Gosh, that went fast.
I just checked my list. I think we're to the end of the show. Hey, thank you again for coming on the show today and helping us out.
Hey, you're welcome. Do you want to mention June is Safety Month?
I am going to mention that June is National Safety Month. We're going to have some stuff for you throughout the month of June. We're going to talk a little bit more about it on AMA Air as well next time. So that's the little teaser I wanted to give you guys to let you know to tune back in next time for some information on National Safety Month and all the cool things we have lined up for that. But aside from that, we hope you guys have enjoyed today's show. If you have, we'd love it if you leave a like down below, maybe comment, maybe share it with your friends, subscribe, click that little notification bell, all those stuff. I don't know. The kids try to tell me all the things I need to tell them. I don't know.
I just know you point. Do this.
I just
like those things.
All those things down below. Hey, if you guys have not become a member of the AMA, I encourage you guys to head over to modelaircraft.org/join to join today. And if you've already joined, you're already a member, we thank you guys so much for supporting the Academy of Model Aeronautics. We appreciate you being a member of our organization. And with that, I think we've covered it all. Aaron, again, thank you so much for joining us today on the show. Thank you guys for watching. Lee, thank you for helping us out behind the scenes. And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of AMA Air. See ya.